House sitters hear something in the bathroom and immediately call authorities. Imagine agreeing to watch someone's house and end up being scared for your life. These two men thought that nothing could go wrong when they decided to help out their nephew by watching his house. Little did they know what they were in for. But before I tell you what happened in their nephew's house, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. Oh, and don't forget to turn your notifications on so you don't miss our new stories. So, these two guys from Oregon had agreed to house sit for their nephew. But they had no idea that their day was about to turn into a total nightmare. As house sitters, they were responsible for ensuring that nothing went wrong in the house until their nephew returned. But they soon realized that they weren't home alone. They thought they were all alone in the house, but someone else was already inside and they wanted to get out and finish what they come to do. Unfortunately for them, the intruder didn't make a sound. At least, not yet. But that all changed as they got closer to lunchtime. They decided to go walk the dog, but when they came back, they heard something ominous coming from the bathroom. It sounded like a thump, followed by several thumps. They thought someone had broken in while they were away, but actually, the intruder has been there the entire time. They cautiously approached the bathroom and tried opening the door, but it was sealed shut. They assumed whoever was in there had probably barricaded themselves in to avoid being captured. The men feared for their lives, so they called for help. On April 9th at 1:48 p.m., they dialed 911 and reported that a burglar had broken into the home in the Cedar Hills neighborhood outside Beaverton, Oregon, which was about 7 miles west of downtown Portland. The caller claimed he could see something alarming. They reportedly saw the intruder's shadow moving under the door. Fortunately, a detective was in the neighborhood and rushed over there to the house. But when he got there, he realized he needed plenty of backup to deal with this menace. The detective met the 3 other deputies from the sheriff's office and 2 canine officers from the Beaverton police force. They all took a deep breath and prepared to confront the intruder. They announced their presence and warned the intruder that it was over and that they had to surrender, but the intruder didn't move a muscle. This forced the officers to unleash the police dogs, but this didn't seem to ruffle the intruder's feather either. According to Ashton's tidings, Deputy Brian Rogers heard rustling in the bathroom when they came into the house, so he and his fellow officers surrounded the bathroom and prepared for the ultimate battle. Whoever was inside this bathroom had refused to come out with their hands up, but they were making an awful lot of noise in there, and the officers feared that they were trying to look for an escape, but they wouldn't get the chance. In an interview with the Washington Post, Cedric Danny Della Petro, a spokesperson for the Washington County Sheriff's Office, said, 100% they had their guns out and the dogs out. If we tell you we're the police and you're not responding and not coming out, we don't know what we're walking into. We don't know if they're armed or if they're going to attack us. The officers were completely unaware that something in the house was going about its program duties. It emitted a soft, rumbling sound. But they had no idea that they were about to encounter a new threat to law enforcement. At 2:05 p.m., less than half an hour since the initial 911 call was made, the officers opened the door to confront the intruder. But they quickly learned that it wasn't much of a burglar at all, or even human for that matter. So, what was it? It was just a little round machine slamming against the glass shower wall, DePetro told NPR. It turned out the intruder was nothing more than a Roomba robo vacuum that was doing its job a little too well. But the officers were the total opposite of upset. We breached the bathroom door and encountered a very thoroughly vacuuming job being done by a Roomba robotic vacuum cleaner, Deputy Rogers wrote on the department's Facebook page. But it wasn't bullets that erupted afterwards. Everyone just started cracking up. It was such a huge relief because it's the kind of situation that could go either way, DePetro told NPR. No one had any idea what was waiting for them behind that door, but they definitely didn't expect that. The guy felt awful about making the call, according to DePetro, who added, "But I would have done the same exact thing. If I was visiting someone and they didn't know there was a robot vacuum cleaner that was set to go off on its own." They had no idea that their nephew even owned a Roomba. But in all fairness, the officers were just as convinced that there was an intruder on the other side as much as they were, and the officers weren't the only ones laughing. The officers recounted everything that happened on their Facebook page under a fake Most Wanted poster which showed a photo of the Roomba, and soon hundreds of Zens jumped in to have a good laugh at the caller's expense. I find it amazing that the vacuum decided to barricade itself in such a standoff. Tech is taking over. A man named Frederick Cost wrote on the post. Another commenter named Richard Cox wrote, After sweeping the premise, the perpetrator was nabbed. Later, the room was dusted for prints. Even though the intruder was nothing more than a Roomba robot, everyone was grateful that the officers took the call seriously and proved to people that these brave officers take their job seriously to ensure everyone is safe. I would be terrified if I was in their position, and would definitely assume the same. What about you? How would you react? Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching this video.